So me and my friends go to this restaurant. They have this table outside. We sit outside. It's like a kind of a plastic table, not a heavy duty one. So I guess they don't have room on the inside to store them every night, and they figure they're cheap. So if somebody steals them, they just buy more off the internet for like $10 or whatever. So we're sitting there waiting for the waitress to come bring our order or bring our water or bring our menus or whatever. And she shows up and she says, "I'll be right with you guys." So we waited a little bit longer, and she brought this. After about 5 minutes, she brought this box of chocolate, and we all kind of looked at each other like, that's weird, because we didn't really ask for anything. And we looked at them and we, I guess, bit into them. You know, you never know what you're going to get. One time I bought a box of chocolate and I bit into one. There was a dead cockroach on the inside. But these chocolates had these cherries. Every single one had a cherry because we chucked them all. We each took half bites out of all of them. But unfortunately for us, maybe fortunately, you might decide that at the end of the story, that inside of the cherry were these microdoses of LSD. So we took this massive trip down this river, and we were in this raft, this white raft, and we're paddling and thinking, how the hell did we get here? And there's like this waterfall coming up, and we get just to the edge of the waterfall, and we're looking around for the parachute that you keep in the back of the raft just in case you go over a waterfall, and so you can pull the parachute and float down to the river at the bottom and, you know, hang out with the mermaids or whatever. And then the waitress, she brings our check, and I'm looking around saying, whoa, what had just happened? And in front of us was this gigantic empty bowl of these nachos. You can see all the evidence of eaten nachos. And I decided to check, and I burped, and I tasted my burp, and it did indeed taste like finished eaten nachos. And I figured the raft was just some kind of imagination that I went on without really knowing how I got in and out of that imagination. And it reminded me of a book I read about the memory, and how sometimes you'll be in the middle of something and you'll forget something, and then you'll try to remember back to how you got on that current train of thought. And if you can't find the original beginning point of that train of thought, it becomes even more confusing, because you end up in this kind of endless loop where you're just going back and forth trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And I was reading that book, and I kept reading this one page over and over again. I wasn't really sure the point the guy was making, and I decided it was time to just stop